When putting together your itinerary for a trip to Paris, of course you'll include the Eiffel Tower, Arc de Triomphe, and the Musée d'Orsay. But I'm guessing that the Musée de l'Air et de l'Espace, or in English, the Air and Space Museum, probably isn't at the top of your list. But it should be. Located at the historic Bourget Airport, just outside Paris, this is one of the world's greatest aviation and space museums. In this video, I'll take you around the museum and show you some of its unique and priceless collection that includes not one, but two Concordes. The museum is housed in the historic Le Bourget Airport terminal, located just outside Paris. This was France's first civil airport, and is famous for being the landing site of Charles Lindbergh's historic solo transatlantic flight in 1927. The museum occupies the beautifully restored Art Deco terminal building, dating back to the 1930s and featuring classic architectural details from the era. In addition to the main terminal, the museum includes several large hangars and an open-air exhibition area to accommodate its extensive collection of aircraft, spacecraft, and aviation artifacts. The museum's collection begins in the historic terminal with some of the earliest attempts at flight, including the Blériot 11, the fragile yet revolutionary aircraft that carried Louis Blériot across the English Channel in 1909, proving powered flight was a viable means of travel. Nearby, visitors can admire the Antoinette 7, an elegant early monoplane that demonstrated remarkable engineering for its time. Among the other historic craft in this gallery is the 1872 airship Basket from the Dupuy de Lôme. Close by is the Great War Hall, which houses one of the finest collections of World War I era aircraft. Highlights include the Spad 7, a fighter flown by the legendary French ace Georges Guillemère. Outside on the tarmac is a large collection of civilian and military aircraft. Out on the tarmac, there's also an Air France Boeing 747-100, one of the most iconic aircraft in aviation history. The Boeing 747 was the world's first wide-body aircraft, capable of carrying over 350 passengers. This particular jet entered service in the early 1970s and was part of the fleet that made long-haul air travel accessible to the masses. Once you enter, you can explore the interior, see the cockpit, passenger cabin, and its vintage upper deck lounge, which gave it a luxurious appeal in its early years. And in the aft section of the aircraft, it's been stripped down to its structural members, so you can see what's behind those overhead bins and underneath the floors. This retired 747 represents a golden era of aviation, and it remains a testament to the aircraft's enduring legacy as one of the most successful commercial airliners in history. From the tarmac, head into the World War II hall. Its large display includes a Douglas C-47 Skytrain that you can actually go inside. This versatile aircraft played a vital role in the war, and this particular model is configured as it would have been on D-Day to drop paratroopers behind the enemy lines in Normandy. In the hall next door is one of the museum's most prized exhibits, its pair of Concorde aircraft, including the Prototype 001, which played a key role in the development of supersonic commercial travel. These sleek, delta-wing, needle-nose jets remain an icon of aviation history. The Concorde Prototype was the very first Concorde to take to the skies, making its maiden flight in March 1969 from Toulouse, France. It was primarily used for testing and development, including supersonic trials that proved the aircraft's ability to cruise at twice the speed of sound, or Mach 2. It played a crucial role in fine-tuning Concorde's aerodynamics, materials, and engine performance before commercial production began. Alongside it is Concorde F BTSD, or Sierra Delta, one of the production models that flew in Air France's commercial fleet. Entering service in 1978, Sierra Delta operated regular transatlantic flights between Paris and New York, reducing travel time to just 3.5 hours. Retired in 2003, this aircraft remains in excellent condition. This pair showcased both the pioneering development and the operational success of supersonic commercial aviation, a feat still unmatched in modern air travel. One of the most interesting, if not strange, displays in the museum was the experimental prototype section, showcasing some of France's most daring aviation innovations, featuring aircraft designed to push the boundaries of speed, altitude, and technology. I guarantee you'll see some craft in this room that will stretch your imaginations a bit. Next to that is the Concorde Hall of French military aviation. It includes some Dassault Mirages, both in regular and a really cool see-through version. The helicopter hall showcases the evolution of rotary wing aircraft and features a diverse collection of military, civilian, and experimental helicopters. Next door, in the interwar hall, is another great piece in the collection, the Breguet 19TF Super Bredon, one of the most important treasures held by the museum. This craft in 1930 was the first ever to fly nonstop from Paris to New York, the opposite of Lindbergh's flight 3 years prior, crossing the Atlantic from east to west against the wind, taking over 37 hours. This hall also included an exhibit on the mechanics and physics of flight. You can even have a chance to design and launch your own plane. The museum also showcases space history. Outside on the tarmac, towering Ariane 1 and Ariane 5 rockets, which are foundation of Europe's space program and are critical to French and European satellite launches, are on display. Inside the space hall, visitors can examine an actual Soviet Soyuz spacecraft, and a huge variety of large and small-scale boosters, satellites, and space-flown artifacts. Now, I must say I was impressed by my visit, as were my teens, who are definitely not as av-geek as I am. Whether you're an aviation enthusiast, a history buff, or simply curious about the marvels of flight, the museum really offers a captivating journey through the past, present, and future of aerospace, and is a great addition to any itinerary visiting Paris. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this useful, a subscribe is sincerely appreciated and helps me to continue the channel.